So taking a full license holder on your standards checks, let's look at the pros and cons of doing that. Now, it may well be that you are choosing to take a full license holder because you are in a position in your work where you're either very part-time or you're not working at all at the moment, and so you don't have a database of pupils that you can rely on, and you are choosing to take either a family member or a friend. Now, the advantage of that is that they are possibly less likely to let you down because they're committed in the diary to helping you. So that's certainly a consideration, and there's no reason why you can't. Or you may be looking to take a full license holder because that is your main form of work. So those of you out there doing fleet on a regular basis, Pass Plus on a regular basis, or refresher lessons on a regular basis, your level of instruction is natural. That is something that you do all the time. So certainly a full license holder is worth considering in those situations. If, however, you are a driving instructor watching this whose bread and butter pupil is your 17-year-old provisional license holder, then I would say that a word of warning here is that your level of instruction and your teaching style is probably far more akin to teaching those type of pupils. And of course what happens is that you're then in this situation with a full license holder that's requiring something a little bit different from you, but isn't something that you normally do. So it's not going to be particularly natural, and so possibly not show off the skills that you normally do. So have a little think about it, and don't think that you're choosing a full license holder for an easy option, because believe you me, they don't make for an easy standards check. Now, a few things to consider when taking up a full license holder. The main one being your subject. So the subject has to, just like a provisional license holder, fit that pupil. Now, if you think about your average full license holder, particularly a full license holder who perhaps is more experienced and has been driving for a number of months or even years, their needs for that lesson are going to be very different. So it's very important that whatever goal you have set up matches their needs and is going to allow you to come back after that hour showing that your pupil has a better knowledge, understanding and ability at something that they wanted to go off and do. So the more experienced your full license holder is, the more experienced you need to be, the more you have to be able to justify your existence, if you like, okay? So justify what you're saying, what you're talking about, getting them to explore different things. So certainly think about that. Your newly qualified license holders, and this is quite a common one, motorways with perhaps a pupil that passed 2 or 3 weeks ago. Again, you're in that scenario where they were last in your car as a learner, and so your natural level of rapport might still kind of slip into that just a little bit, yet the subject they're doing is new to them, so they're almost needing that higher level of instruction, higher level of Q&A and thought processes going into the new subject. So again, not particularly an easy option, but certainly one worth thinking about, and if you get it right, can be great, can be a really good juicy kind of subject to show off your skills as well. But certainly think about that. Now, one of the pitfalls that happens with full license holders is the level of instruction. So pitching your instructoriness, if you like, to that person. And it's very easy to perhaps over-instruct, so be taking a little bit too much responsibility off those full license holders and making them a little bit learnery. So be very aware of that, particularly if this is not something that you are doing on a regular basis. And I would certainly suggest that if you are having to take a full license holder or choosing to take a full license holder, you just get somebody to have a little look at your lesson with them. So perhaps when you're doing that assessment lesson with them before your standards check, someone else observes that with you, and your plan of action then is done as a team, and just check that you're not being too provisionally with that full license holder. Now, don't fall into the opposite trap. The ADI 1, so the examiner's guidelines, makes it very clear that you as the instructor, even with a full license holder, is there to be noticing and pulling up and rectifying bad habits, so particularly the ones that are potentially safety critical. So stopping distances, for example, mirror checks, that's another one. So you can see that your full license holder might not necessarily be your easy option, because not only have you got the subject that you're wanting to do with them, but you've also got to be looking at them from that kind of point of view as well. So I'll leave it with you to think about those kind of things. Certainly I have seen standards checks go very well with full license holders, and they've been very worthwhile and beneficial, but I have also seen the opposite, where the ADI has fallen into those pit holes, has either under-instructed or over-instructed because has misread those signs in the car, or has not had the knowledge and ability themselves to actually be pushing that full license holder's own thought processes. So have a little think about that when you're looking at your choice of full license holder and the subject that you're going to be doing with them. I hope that's useful.